Welcome everybody to ORS and Fusion live stream here. My name is Jake and I'll be running us through some ORS trades at first and then some Fusion trades. We can also look at these two different types of trading as so right now we're going to be talking about Fusion specifically. So there's two different types of trades that Fusion will make for us. One is a trend trade, which is basically what we're all used to, which is the pullback limit orders, and then back up or down to target. And then there's the range trade, which is what Fusion does for us, which is basically a buy stop or a sell stop. Price comes to it, goes through it, then goes to target. So it's an inversion of what we're used to seeing. Thus, Fusion. There's two different types of trades. There's limit orders, and then there's buy/sell stops. So let's look at some regular ORS trades first, and I believe there was one here. I'm just semi kind of picking some random days here in this back test. On the MNQ 3-minute chart, this is the 226 to 600 opening range template. And you know, for the posterity of this recording, I might even just go through here, let's get rid of this. Might even go through how we even come up with this. This was the biggest day in the back test. Here's the back test. Let's start with that. This is 90-day back test that pretty much nobody's seen unless they saw my post earlier. This is the 9-day back test for MNQ on the one of two templates. So this is really fantastic. I'm excited that micros are giving the exact same result. You know, there's some more commissions on there, but it's given very similar results to NQ. So this is 5 micros. The stuff that I've been sharing before was 1 mini. With other strategies, I've done NQ and then switched to micros, and the results aren't quite the same. You'd expect it to be half of everything, right? 5 micro to 1 mini. Most of the time from the other stuff that I've worked on, that has not occurred, but this time it did. So I'm pretty stoked about that. We're about half of everything. Switching from 1 NQ to 5 micros. So if we look at the real-time and historical with 5 micros in 90 days, excluding all FOMCs, we have an $8,200 profit. Oh, that seems better than it before. Did we just get a winner? Maybe that trade ended up being a win that we're working today. That thing was a long trade. I don't know. We're not going to talk about whatever's going on there, but it looks like we probably did based on what I'm seeing here, because this was like 7,800 what I posted before, or something like that. Anyway, 8,200 total net profit with just this template and a max drawdown of $835. We have a 39 trade sample size. It's not big, it's not huge, but it's enough. I think it's enough. I'd like to have 100 there, but 39 in 90 days. You know, this template doesn't trade that often. So, but it did trade today. 39, it's nothing to scoff at. That's a good enough sample size. We got the average winning trade 300. This is great right here. Check this out. 341 average winning trade, average losing trade 225. That's fantastic. And if that's not good enough, look at the percent profitable. 76.92. Now, honestly, this is one of the least significant areas in the statistical analysis, but in conjunction with stuff like this, it's really promising. Look at this average time in market with this template. So I haven't really looked at this as much as I probably should have. So the trade today, that thing was going for like an hour. Maybe it ended up winning. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to look at it right now. But look, the average time in a market per trade is almost an hour with this template. And that's due to how large the profit target and the stops are. So this template gives the trade on NASDAQ a lot of room to breathe before it either gets stopped or it hits target. Whenever you guys are looking at the back test here, this max time to recover, like, oh no, our drawdown was $835. It's going to take us 17 days to recover from that. This is not accurate, because the other template that we have for NQ will trade in between those 17 days. So it will take way less time than 17 days. For this is if it was just this template that we were working. So, I mean, we only had 39 trades. 3.6 to 6.4. So our profit factor is kind of ridiculous, like almost unbelievable. 5.04. But hey, I mean, and I'd also like to just touch on how great this method of backtesting is compared to other methods of backtesting that Eamon and I have done over the years, which are with market orders. So with this type of backtesting, it's going to be more accurate because we have limit orders, or we have buy/sell stops that the price actually has to go and touch, either touch and reverse or touch and go through. We're not just buying market with, Ninja Trader tick data. We're not just buying market in the middle of a bar wherever and hoping that our backtest is going to be anywhere near accurate. So market order backtests I have seen in the past have not been as accurate as I would like, and that's probably an understatement. But with this, it's pretty good. Pretty darn good. I mean, Eamon, have you seen a day yet in all of our trading where the live results didn't match the backtest on that particular day? I don't know if I've seen it. Maybe one trade one day, but that could have been a micro versus mini discrepancy. I don't know. Okay. And then we can see here. Let's just go through this real quick because this is helpful to know. So we got daily, and we can see here how many days this template traded in 90 days. So what's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 days out of what? 31 days out of 60 days. So I guess that's like half the time, but the window's really short. It's only an hour window for this particular template. Very sensitive. And then we can look at other stuff like you can even look at day of week. So Wednesday looks like the least profitable with this template. Monday looks like it's crushing. And then we can look at trades. These are all the trades that it's taken in the 90-day backtest. So, not a huge sample size, but it's statistically significant enough. We had this one day minus 600. We can actually go in and we can see if we wanted to. I'm not going to do this right now because I want to start getting to the point, but we could click here and go, all right, well, that's 430. I wonder what happened that day. So this is like kind of what I do while I'm trying to make these, when I'm making these templates for us. Excuse me, I'll look at all these trades, hundreds of trades, and I'll take these and be like, okay, is there anything that I can tweak to reduce these? Or is there anything that, like, what happened on those days? Was that a FOMC day or something? Or like, was this day 200 OR or something? Maybe I should increase the limit for this template and reduce it for the other, or whatever. So, but that's the basic idea of the back testing. So let's talk about. So for these trades here, this is the biggest day on the whole back test. And I know that this day is. Here, hold on a second. Not really very close always. Yeah, around down. I just want to look at the chat here and make sure I'm not getting. I was just yapping for a while there. Reset the other template to MQ or leave MQ. I don't know, man. I'm like thinking, James. I'm thinking that this template here, this specific template, this one, the opening range 226 to 600 right here. I'm thinking that this one might be better off as 5 micros. If we do one mini, it's like 15K for 90 days. Do we really need that? Do you really need that much? I don't know. I mean, then your drawdown could be up to $1,600, which is, that's a little heavy for a 50K account, But, I don't want to give financial advice, although in the chat I do say, what I would do, what I might do. So I don't want to tell people exactly how much to trade on what, on MQ or NQ, this is just like a basic idea. I don't want to micromanage everybody. So let's talk about, maybe we shouldn't do this. Okay, well, maybe we should. So for most ORS templates, we're going to split the opening range up into 4 sections. Well, maybe it's not most. Maybe it's half the time nowadays with the way that we have the template set up now. So here's our opening range. Here's our high. Here's our low right here. And that's the first 15 minutes of the market. So it's from here to here. And we can see that that total distance traveled from the open, which was right here. So it's high, the open high, and the open low is 265 ticks. Well, apparently I'm not measuring it correctly because down here it's saying 277. So whatever, I don't know. Well, whatever. We'll trust this 277 for now. You know, there's going to be little significant differences, insignificant differences, but anyway, it's 277 ticks as far as ORS and Fusion. So we're specifically talking about Fusion right now. So with this particular Fusion template, we're not going to split the opening range up into 4 sections, which is another reason that I'm thinking that it's probably best to go MNQ on this one, because we're only splitting up in 2 sections. So we got a lot of wiggle room, which could increase the risk as well. So we're going to split our opening range up with this template into 2 sections. And we're just going to extrapolate our standard deviations all the way down, all the way up to as good as I can get it. So our opening range low, opening range high, 277 ticks. And that means our standard deviation, which is one of these, is going to be about 130 ticks or so on this particular day. These are the standard deviations here. So for a trend trade in Fusion to fire off, I'm just going to zoom in here. These are all trend trades. I'm going to actually, it's going to be easier to see if I get rid of this. There we go. For a trend trade in Fusion, we're going to need our ADX, which is this. This is our ADX line. We're going to need our ADX to be below, I believe this template, it is 25. Let's check it. I'll show you where to check that. Entry settings, entry type, we have auto. ADX period is looking at 10 bars, and our ADX value is 25. So if our value over here, which is 50.82 as far as this spot on the chart is concerned, if our value over here is 25 or below, we're going to be taking range trades. If it's 26 or above, we'll be taking trend trades, which are basically ORS, regular ORS trades. So we can see here, let's snap a line on 25. Right about there, we'll say. And we'll explain why these trend trades fired off the way that they did for this template in the backtest. So we need 3 things, just like ORS, Fusion ORS, it's the same thing. We need 3 elements to be in sync to take a trade. In this case, we're taking shorts. First thing we need to take a short is a blue EMA. Second thing we need are candles closing below the EMA. Obviously all these candles are closing. This is the first one here. Well, these are all closed below. This is the first one to close below, then we close back above, then we kind of close below, then we close, and we're basically closing below from here all the way to whenever. So we need a blue EMA, we need to close below the EMA, and we need to be in a red shaded zone. So I call these cell zones. This is a cell zone. Here, I gotta fix my drawing tool. Okay, so this is a cell zone. I know this is on repeat for a lot of you guys, but for the posterity of the recording, we're going to just do this. This is a sell zone, then it switches to a buy zone real quick, then it switches to a sell zone, then it switches to a buy zone, etc., etc., etc. So we need 3 things. We need a blue EMA, which means the slope is down. We need closes below the EMA, and we need to be in a sell zone. 1, 2, 3. Make sense? Okay. So then the next thing that's going to happen, once we got those 3 things, is ORS or Fusion. It's going to place an order. And we got to zoom in even farther here. As soon as we're below, as soon as it's blue, and as soon as we're in a sell zone, ORS is going to start placing orders. So it looks like it might have placed an order up here on this line. The orders are only going to be placed on our standard deviation lines. So as soon as this candle closes, ORS is going to place a sell limit right here on this line. And then that's as soon as this candle closes right here. As soon as that candle closes, sell limit gets placed, and we pull back over the course of the next minute or two. We pull back and we get filled here on our sell limit, and now we are in the trade, and we are we're down. Oh no, it's an NQ, we're freaking out, and we're in profit, and oh god, now we're in a loss. Oh, and then bam, drop to target. So this is where the target would be, and the target on this particular template, I believe, is 125% of one standard deviation. And we can see that here. We go to strategies and scroll down. Exit settings, profit target SD percent, 125% of one standard deviation. The stop loss is 2 standard deviations, so we do allow it to have some room to breathe. It is an inverted risk reward, but as we can see, our win percentage makes up for that. So that's just the way the NQ is. Does that make sense to everybody? What? You can't hear anything. Oh my god, if I just didn't... No. It looks like it's all going. Okay. Alright, something's going on with Rich. Okay, god. At least it's getting recorded. Okay. I don't know what's going on with yours, Rich. Okay, cool. Alright, so does that make sense, everybody? That is a trend trade for Fusion. Trend trade, which is exactly like a regular ORS trade. And over here on the chart trader, our manual functions over here, right now we have it on auto, but if you wanted to only trade like ORS, you could make it limit orders. Now, don't expect the ORS and Fusion backtest results to be the same. There was some underlying code that had to be changed, so it's not quite exactly the same. The Fusion is different than ORS. If you have ORS templates, trade ORS with those templates. Do not trade Fusion with ORS templates. You can't anyway, but you can, take screenshots and input it all in that way. But just don't do that. ORS is ORS. ORS templates or ORS templates. Fusion is Fusion. Fusion templates are for Fusion. Okay. So, and then maybe we should go over 1 or 2 more of these trades. So this particular template, I believe, allows 2 trades per window. Strategies. I got so many templates. I'm not positive with just remembering it all. Max trades per window, 2. So by per window, I mean per buy or sell window. So this is a sell window here. So we get this 1 win here. Then this trade closes out, and then we get a brand new limit order because all of our criteria is still met. We get a brand new limit order placed right here. So it would be like this. And then our price pulls back, fills our limit order, and then goes to 125% of one standard deviation. And as you can see here, this whole time, our ADX has been above 25. I'm going to change the color on that font. There you go. So you can see there's the 25 mark right there. We are above it, so we're only taking Fusion trend trades. All right, so that probably makes sense to everybody. I think that was a pretty good explanation of what we have going on here. And again, with this template, we're splitting the opening range into 2 standard deviations. So we're going to delete this, and let's go to the next day where we have 2 fusion trades, or range trades, we shall call them. 2 range trades. And they're here. There we go. And pretty cool. I mean, that's a range. We can see that that is clearly, I mean, anybody could look at that and go, that's a range. And then you could look over here at the previous day and see how trending that looks. But SGt&x is going to let us know if it's ranging or trending in a quantifiable fashion by if it's over 25, trending. Under 25, ranging. Now you can decide that on your own over here with this tool. But that's up to the user, of course. All right, so let's zoom in on here. At the moment everyone's been waiting for, how in the heck is Fusion getting these significantly more statistically probable wins and better results than we have ever seen? So let's go over it. Okay, first here's our opening range. There's our first candle. Here's our high. Here's our low. So there's our opening range, 15 minutes right there. And on this particular, 277. That's why I was like, wait, why isn't it matching? 277 is the opening range of today. That other day that we just looked at, it actually was 265. I was smoking something for a second there. All right, so this particular day is about 372 ticks, so that's a fairly large opening range. I'm going to have to finish my coffee here as I try to get you guys to understand this Fusion stuff, because I have to admit, it was pretty smart of me to come up with this. Actually, I can't even take credit for it. I'm going to give the credit to God. I really don't know how this idea even came to me. It just kind of popped in there, you know what I mean? How that stuff kind of happens sometimes. Well, I guess I kind of have some idea. So I kept thinking, like, why is it that sometimes we get into a trade and it just immediately reverses and stops us out? How about I talk to the developer and see if he can just make something where we can do a whole back test and just trade an instrument inverted. So every time it's supposed to take a long, it actually takes a short. Every time it's supposed to take a short, it actually takes a long. And I was like, that's kind of silly. I don't know if that's whatever. And then I was like, oh yeah, my old baby SGt&x. It's like, what if we can have some kind of way to take the opposite trade that ORS would normally take if SGt&x says that we're in a range? So that's what these two trades are. So let's draw our lines. And this is the Fibonacci extension tool. Well, it's not an extension tool. It's the, what do we call it? Fib ORS SD lines. That's available in the tools section for VIP people. So we will draw those in here. Again, this is still the 2-split template. Oh, need to make it a little smaller. Yeah. And this tool I use just for the back testing and checking out charts and stuff, so that looks pretty good. All right. Nobody has any questions on the trend trades that we just went over, right? Just want to make sure. Everybody should know what those are all about. Okay, so let's do some range trades. All right, so let's make the SGt&x a little bit bigger so we can really see what's going on here. Now, I don't like this yellow line. I got to get our developer to get rid of this yellow line. It's such an annoying thing to ask him for, and such an annoying thing to send a brand new update just because he somehow has this yellow line in here. So I'm probably going to wait until there's more stuff to update before I tell him, hey, can you get rid of this yellow line? It sounds like it would be easy, but if I go in there, this is a lot of lines of code, guys. This ain't no joke, this strategy. There is a lot of time and energy and resources that have been put into this strategy. This is no fly-by-night strategy or code. There's a lot of lines. So me trying to go in there, being a technical analyst, not a programmer, would I'd certainly break something. So I'm not going in there. So we still see the 25 line, right? Let's see. All right, so just pretend that's so annoying. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger so we really can see it. Oh, it's pretty seeable, but we'll still make it bigger. Let's make it like a 5. There we go. Okay, so if we're below this line, we're ranging. Well, guess what? This whole day, so we peak up here, and we're trending for a second, because it's looking at this. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe that's a trend. I don't know. And then we're just like, bam, we're right back down into it. And we're in range. We're in range this whole day. Range. Okay? So anything below in this in this orange shaded area is a range. So let's talk about this trade right here. So if this was a regular ORS trade, we would actually have placed a long here. So pretend for a second that this ADX doesn't even exist. What do we got? Well, we have a white EMA, 1. We are closing above the EMA, 2. We're in a green shaded zone, 3. 1, 2, 3. We got our three criteria for entering a long. How would we enter that long? Well, we would look at this candle, because it's the first candle within the allowed time that we're allowed to trade. We look at this candle, and we would pull back to the limit order that ORS would have placed on this line, and then we would be looking for a target way up here. But Fusion's smarter than that. Fusion knows that we're in a range right now. So instead, here's where it gets a little confusing. We're still looking for all the signals, all 3 things, above the EMA, white EMA, and in a green shaded zone, but we're placing a short where the long was. So get ready for a Fusion range trade, because we are below 25 ADX here. It's clearly below. So as soon as Fusion sees above the white line, the line is white and we're in a green shaded zone. Let me zoom in even more for this. Fusion is going to, instead of placing a limit order right here, it's going to place a sell stop. So the price will, even zoom in even a bit more for this one. The price, so as soon as this candle right here closes, our sell stop is going to be placed right here. Price is going to come at, maybe it did this actually, I'm not sure, because historical is hard to tell, but the price could have went up, 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 and like, oh, maybe we're not even going to get filled, and then bam, drops, fills our sell stop for a short, and then plummets, because we're in range, plummets the opposite direction that we would normally take an ORS trade in, plummets all the way down to 125% of the standard deviation as our target. Does that make sense? What kind of question is that, Devin? I'm confused. I'm just going to let you guys answer that. Keep going. Okay. Yeah, I'm confused by that question, Devin. I'll get to you in a second. Here, let me go over one more trade here. I chose this day because it's perfect, because they're 2 opposite of what we're used to seeing trades in a row. So we had that one, and then we get into a sell zone. Here's our sell zone. So we have that win. Now we're in a sell zone. So number 1, we're in a sell zone. Number 2, the EMA is blue. Number 3, we're closing below the EMA. So we're ready for a trade to be placed long or short. So in this case, what would have happened, this one's pretty cool because it actually would have worked either way. Well, no, it wouldn't have. Actually, no, it would not have. We would not have went to target with this being in trend mode. So here with this Fusion trade, because we are in range still, we're way below. I mean, at this point, we are at 18, not above 25. We're at 18 ADX, so we're still going to be placing range trades, or you can kind of call, I guess you could call them Fusion trades. So we are going to place the opposite. So we have our 3 things for selling, but instead of selling, because we're in range, we're actually going to buy. So this candle is going to close, and it's going to pull, the price is going to pull back to where our order is, fill our order for a entry long. And then the price is going to come down, freak us out. And then as we can see, we are, do we all get all the way to target on this one, or do we shut off by the time we hit 12:45. Oh, okay, great. This is even better. This is a really good day. So you can see here, like, why that's not target. No, it's not. But from the testing and the templates that I've made, excuse me, I've determined that it's better just to over time. And you know, maybe this won't be the case forever, but over time, it's best just to close that trade at 12:45. So this trade, we're out of our window where we're allowed to trade. Just a small window with this template. We don't actually come up. We almost hit target. Like we come all the way up to here. And then, you know, some people might have, like myself, maybe I might have moved my stop to break even once this happened. And or it's like, you know what, guys? Like if it's the like this trade's lasting a while, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 24. It's like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's like 40 minutes worth of trade, and you get up to here, dude. I mean, come on, how dumb would we have to be to not just close that trade right there? We only have what our target for this one would be here. So at the top of this, you're telling me that you would take this heat, come up here, pull back a little bit, and then our window for trading closes, and we know that no matter what, we got to close this trade. It's going to auto close for us at 12:45. Just take the profit here on this freaking SD line. It's the top. I mean, like, it's the top of the opening range too. Like, just take that profit there. So that's what I would have most likely done manual wise, because of the time is running out. Trade's already been in action for 45 minutes or something. Then the time actually is out, and it's the top of the opening range. Just take that money. Take that money. And then it pulls back down, and then it comes and blah, 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 blah. And then we auto close here, these 5 micros at 12:45. And we can see that here under strategies, the exit time. So this template trades from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., all Eastern Standard Time. And if the trade's still working past noon, which this one is, then we will close that trade automatically at exit time, 12:45, and that's right here. So with this particular trade, we still made 97 ticks profit. But you know, I'm telling you, like if the trade's running down, you don't take that profit right there at 183 ticks. I mean, like what would that be with micros? That would be 183 times 0.5 times 5. $450 trade, dude. You're taking that. You're not trying to make this extra 25% of a standard deviation. Just take it. So yeah, does that make sense? Okay, no worries, Devin. Thanks, man. Does that make sense to everybody? Why we're taking the opposite trades there? How it's working? This one right here, I mean, that's a perfect example. Both of them actually both of them are. That should do it. I mean, really. So we got, like I said, we got the trend trades over here. Because our ADX is over 25, we're going to take pullback limit order trades. If, like over here, our ADX with this template is under 25, we're going to still look for the same entry criteria, but we're going to place a sell stop or a buy stop and trade the opposite direction. Because that's what happens in range. You know, we trade, things go opposite. They're not. It's going to hit the top. It's going to go to the bottom. It's going to hit the top. It's going to go to the, well, in this case, it goes to the middle. Let me see. There's really not any other here. Let's just go over some more of the settings just in case. So here, entry type auto. Let's deactivate it for a second. So entry type auto, that's gonna, you know, if you want, you can only do limit. You can only do stop market. It's actually a buy stop limit. It's not really a market, but whatever. Market, same thing. It's not a market order. Like, you're not just pushing the button and hoping that it's going to fill. It actually what's cool, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the back test. The fills are going to be where the fills are. It's not going to be a market order in the where you can get like 20 ticks of slippage if the volume's heavy or something. So we'll have that on auto. For Fusion, we do not care about the max position size, at least not yet, unless maybe I find something with CL where like a little bit of martingale, like adding a contract or two after a trade might help. But for right now, all of our Fusion templates, our 2 NQ templates, are not with martingale. So we can see down here, martingale is not checked. So we do not need to worry about max position size. All you really, this is the most important part for everybody. This is what y'all have to decide for yourselves. Position size, position size, position size. What do you put here? That's how much you're risking. That's it. That's how much you're risking. So right now we got MNQ 5 micros. Let's see what happens when we do 8 micros. Let's see what happens to that back test. 5, 6, 7, 8. So our drawdown's going to increase. Our profits are going to increase. But it's still not 1 mini. So, you know, like we get... Come here. So now we got a max drawdown of 1,300. But our profit's 13,000 instead of 8,000 or whatever it was. Profit factor is still the same. Still the same winning percentage. You know, just a matter of what do you want to handle. Like, don't expect to never have a max drawdown, you know? I mean, we might even have more of a max drawdown than this, but statistically, in the last 90 days, this is it. So maybe that's too much heat. That's more than half of a Apex 50K drawdown. So, but maybe you want to keep it like, maybe 1,000 feels good to you. You know, come in here on MNQ with the same template, 226 to 600. You can obviously do this with a 225 and below template, which is the other one. Splits the opening range into 4 sections. But here we can come in here and go, all right, well, 8's too much. Let's try 6, just one more than we were doing. Maybe that'll get our drawdown up to 1,000, give us an extra $900 over the course of 90 days for this particular back test. Strategy performance, ORS Fusion, real time and historical. There we go. Perfect 1,000, pretty much. $1,000 drawdown, 9,800. This I like this. This is what I might do for this particular template. I might do 6 micros, especially on my PAs. Now with a 250K account, like 50K account, you might do 2-3 minis, you know, because you got a $6,500 drawdown. Like right now with the 50K account, we have a $2,500 drawdown to work with, and that's it. So I like this. I like 6 micros. That's pretty good. Fusion would have closed on profit still today, just FYI. Sick! That's so cool. I love that. Let's see. Let's look at it. Ha! Nice. That's so awesome. I love Fusion. I feel like it's a miracle. It's a godsend sent from above. Let's get rid of these drawing tools. So here's what happened today. Today we entered this long below. Oh, was this oh, look at that. I wasn't really paying attention because I was driving around and everything. But it looks like this is a Fusion trade. This is a range trade. Yeah, because it's hard to tell, man. Is that below? It is below. That is below. So this, and then if we look here at our ADX, when this trade executed, our ADX was super rangy, man. Of course it was. I mean, look at how look what the market was today. 13.43 ADX. So what happened here is 2 days in a row, brand new Fusion, winning days, whoop whoop. I never do that. That's like some weird thing. I can't believe I just said whoop whoop. I like literally never do that. That's out of character. Okay. All right, maybe I should stop the recording now because I'm starting to get loopy again. Let's finish this part. 39 minutes? Yeah, I think 45 minutes. We'll do 45 minutes worth of recording. Subject people to that. 45 minutes. That's not bad. It's not even a full hour watching a show. So with this template again, we're going to split up into 2 sections. Here's our opening range. Look at how nasty. This day was a piece of poo. Look at that. Well, not really a piece of poo. I actually kind of like range days now that I'm not scared as I was about them with the Fusion range trades. That's freaking awesome. So here's what happened. So we had a sell zone, we had a blue EMA, and we were closing below the EMA. So we are ready to place an order short because our ADX is below 25. So this candle closes here. We come up and we fill our buy stop. Price does this, does this, does this. Really freaking us out. Comes down here. Now remember, our stop's way down here. 2 standard deviations away. So we actually didn't really even get that close to our stop, you know. But with 1 mini, you know, you'd be taking some heat. You'd be getting a little scared right around in here with 1 mini on a 50K account, right? So we come up here and lo and behold, we do indeed hit the top of the opening range again. Not surprised about that at all. I don't understand how people can trade without opening range. It's so significant that I don't understand. Well, I'll draw my own support and resistance. Yeah, you can do that. You can add it on top of the opening range. So, but why did it close right here in the middle of nowhere? Well, it's not the middle of nowhere. This is 1245. So it was the actual candle that it closed on. It just looks like it was here because that's the way that NinjaTrader plots its trades in historical fashion. So we had a win today, if you would have no touch and not cared about the rhythmic stuff, of 87 ticks. And that was a win today of, with 1 mini, 87 times 5, $435 day. Bam! And then yesterday was like $1,500 taking all trades. So in 2 days, you got $1,935. And even today, with 87 ticks on, what, 6 micros? 87 times 0.5 times 6. $261 a day, dude. I mean, with 6 micros, I'll take that. $261 across 5, 10, something, you know, PA accounts, and maybe 5 or 10 evals or something like that. That's a great day. No need to risk 1 mini on this, I don't think. But yeah, I think that's good for the recording. I'm gonna keep hanging out with you guys for a second here, but I think that's good for the recording, everybody. We're gonna keep it under 45 minutes. Unless anybody has any questions. Does anybody have any questions that I was like maybe not quite clear enough on the Fusion trades? Because I really want everybody to watch this 45-minute video who has purchased Fusion or who might purchase Fusion. Anybody? Nice, I did a good job. Sweet. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah? Alright. I guess so. Nobody's responding, but I'm assuming that everybody can still hear me and that as your stream is still running. Pause your period. Yes. Okay. All good? Alright, nice. Alright. I got one person saying yes, yes, okay. Everybody well, is there anything else here? Let's I want to make sure that everybody understands what's going on here in the settings. Alright, so make sure when you are trading live, you do not have backtests checked. All the other stuff should be pretty self-explanatory with the templates that you're going to have already loaded. Remember, position size here. This is the most important thing. How much are you trading? 6 micros in this case. Micro chart, 6 micros. The entry order offset is 1 tick here. Our opening range is this first 15 minutes. With this particular template, our divider is 2, so we're splitting the opening range up into 2 sections. This minimum is 226 for the, and then a maximum of 600 ticks for this particular template's opening range. If it's under 226, so 225 or under to 100, so 100 to 225, and then we'll use the other template. That template splits it up into 4 sections. Our T-speed, W, action A, S level. This is all for the green and red shaded zones in the background. That's what these settings are. Don't mess with those really. EMA, we're using a 20. T-count, V-factor, that's for only if we're using a T3, which we're not. Trade direction, all. Yep, we're going to trade long and short. Martingale, no. Reset martingale, doesn't really matter if we have that checked or not since we're not using martingale. Max trades per window, we're only going to be allowed 2 trades per green or red buy/sell zone. CSV date filter. This is where you can include the CSV file that we have provided to you folks under tools. What you do is you download that, place it somewhere on your computer, copy the file path and from wherever you put that file, and then paste it here under CSV path. Check this box, and then you will exclude all FOMC days from your backtest. If you do not have this box checked, you will be, in a sense, trading the FOMC days. So here, let me actually go over that. This is going to be a really good video for people. Let's go, and I'm just going to show everybody exactly what I mean by all of this. So you go to, there's too much going on here in my Discord. This is going to be worth the extra couple minutes, so I don't have questions on this. All right, so come over here and you go to ORS VIP Premium. If you are listening to this video and you're not a member of ORS VIP Premium, please send me a DM so I can make sure that you are. It's hard to keep track of who's screen names and who's bought lately. So I want to make sure everybody who has purchased is part of this ORS VIP Premium. So let me know, DM me. So we go to ORS VIP Premium and we go to templates, ORS Fusion templates. You can see here, actually, it's pretty cool. Earlier today, I posted screenshots of what the templates should look like, so you can check those out. But here are the actual templates. You would download those, follow the videos on how to do that. But here is the no FOMC CSV data exclusion file. So we would download this again from Fusion Templates NQ, Templates ORS Fusion NQ3. Download this. Yes, okay. And then come over and go to your downloads folder, take this, copy it, put it somewhere. I'll put it somewhere else. Just okay, so say it's here on my desktop, and then we'll right click, go to properties, security, that's how I like to do it. Copy this whole object name, copy, get rid of all this, and then paste that right here. Control V, paste, and then you will have an up-to-date FOMC exclusion file. Click this, and then your backtest will indeed exclude the FOMCs. Now we're going to need to update this file. You guys are going to have to do that on your own. I am not going to sit here and update that file every single FOMC day. Maybe I will. Seems like a lot though. I'm probably not going to do it. You know, you guys going to have to do that yourself. But all you do is you got to make, or let's go over actually how you would do that. So wherever that file is on your computer, you just open it up. Here's your CSV, and say we have another FOMC, whatever the next one is, I don't know, 5, you just put it in here just like this, 5/21, whatever it is, comma, 2024. It's got to be in that exact format. Just follow the format, and then put it in there, and then we can just keep up with the FOMCs. And then once you have it in there, I'm not going to save it right now, but once you have it in there, you can just X out, and then it'll say save, yes, okay. And it will automatically look at the right file and will include that data the next time you do the backtest. So moving on, adjust change long, let just change short. Don't have to worry about those. Keep those unchecked. That is something that we had that we needed to add because Fusion was complex enough. Anyway, long story. Don't mess with those. Or this is why we had to change over from ORS to ORS Fusion. Anyway, filter settings, time exclusion window. This could it might make more sense for instead of this to say resume trading, it might make more sense for this to say start trading. So this template is going to start trading at 11 a.m. It's going to stop trading at 12 p.m. And then it's going to exit its last trade of the day at exit time, 12:45 p.m. Now, don't worry about this down here. This is only if you're going to try messing around with some kind of overnight stuff or whatever, like the London session. Max realized session profit and loss. I just have set to 50,000 because why not? It's maxed out. There's nowhere we're going to make $50,000 in a day unless you're trading freaking 100 minis or something. But this is just maxed out, so it's not going to take any max loss or max profit for any day. But if you wanted to have a limit of $999 for your 50K PA account, so you kind of abide by the 30% rule or something, you could do that. Maybe put like 800 in here as a max profit, and maybe you have a max loss of 1,000, or whatever you want to put in there. And then ATR filter, I might find some use for this down the line. So far, it's nice to have in there. It's nice to have as an option. I'm not going to really go into that. MA cloud settings, I'm not really going to go into that. We haven't been finding much use for that at the moment, but things could change. I like to have the option. MA cloud, so all 4 EMAs would have to be crossed up and closing above as a filter to only go long, and vice versa. Exit settings, stop loss, standard deviation, offset. So for this template is 2 full standard deviations for our trade to work, and our profit is the percentage of 1 standard deviation. That'd be 125%. And our stop loss martingale offset we don't have to worry about for Fusion because we are not using a martingale. Moving average close is not checked, so it doesn't matter if our trade is working and we get a candle closing above or below. It's not going to do anything. This is basically after a loss. If this is checked, we would, in the next trade after a loss, the chart or the trade would be closed automatically if we have a candle closing above or below in the opposite direction the trade was originally taken in. And this break even right here, this could be, you could use this, like say your standard deviation for the day is 100 ticks and your profit is 125 ticks. You could tell ORS right after it starts trading, you could tell it to make the break even 100 ticks. So as soon as you get into 100 ticks profit, it will move stop to break even for you +1. So you could do, all right, well, if we get into 100 ticks of profit on this day, I want my stop to move to break even, and I want to make sure I keep 50 ticks of that. So you can do that, and then you can click this to enable it. Then you can also have a trail. So this is a built-in ATM strategy, the break even and offset ticks. And also the other part of that ATM strategy is the trail buy, and start ticks. So you could click this and you could say trail start ticks. So as soon as it gets into 50 ticks worth of profit on any particular day, you could have it trail by 25 ticks. Something like that if you wanted to do that. And no need to ever mess with any of this stuff down here. And there we go. We are under an hour. I think that was a great live stream. That was a lot of information thrown at everybody. My coffee is definitely hitting me hard right now at the perfect time. So that's good. Appreciate everybody. I think that's good for the recording. And Jake from ORS StratGeeks Fusion is out on the recording. Talk to you later, guys.